At this time, I would like to incorporate my thoughts on how hemp can influence the school system. Whenever you talk about the school system, you have to talk about kids, which is why I'm going to take the time to address some of the arguments I hear against marijuana. Some common comments I hear are marijuana has 4 times the amount of tar as tobacco. This is true, but as most doctors will tell you, anytime you're breathing in anything that is burning, it's bad for you. I feel that this study did not account for one major thing, and that is when vaporized or eaten, the amount of tar is little to none. And in my opinion, even if smoked, the amount of deadly ingredients when comparing the two is in the same realm as comparing tobacco and sitting next to a burning pile of yard waste. And that might not even be a fair representation, because a burning pile of yard waste can contain poison ivy, poison oak, or any number of ingredients that, if inhaled, could kill you within minutes. Now, it is a fact that one of the ingredients has been shown to cause addiction. However, what most people who recite this don't realize is that it is also a fact that caffeine and sugar is more addictive. Those products cause both mental and physical addiction. THC is only mental, meaning your mind thinks it needs it, but your body really doesn't. It is also a fact that it is virtually impossible to overdose on marijuana. There was one study done that showed you would literally pass out from oxygen deprivation before you could come close to even half of what is needed to overdose. Unlike coffee and sugar, 2 things that you could go into a store, buy enough to kill you 20 times over, and not get reported or even a second look. If you speak to any ER doc or look at the annual cause of death, it is plain to see that there are thousands of times more death from these 2 products just from overdose, not including secondary health effects. Another fact that many people don't know about the other active ingredients in marijuana is that they're already in your body and being produced by your body through your endocannabinoid system, which I feel this fact in itself should be a realization that the current law states either just sativa is illegal or your own endocannabinoid system is illegal. A sativa is a subcategory, is a subcategory of the marijuana plant, which is the female version of the hemp plant. Another statement I get a lot is that if weed was legal, then all of the kids would smoke it. One study that gets recited is that kids nowadays say that it is easier to get an illegal drug than it is to get tobacco or alcohol. But this is short-lived because I simply ask, so what you're saying is that we should keep something illegal because the kids today say that they can get it easier than something that is illegal, and you fear that if we legalize it, kids would have, or more kids would use it. As far as the gateway theory, it could be argued that one reason that many people move on to harder drugs is because they have been told all their life that marijuana is this evil thing that will ruin your life and make you stupid. And when they realize, and when they try it for the first time, or even talk to somebody who smokes it, they realize it's not. So they wonder if they were being lied to about the harder stuff. Moving on, I would like to reiterate that I welcome any arguments against what I'm saying, and am indeed looking forward for someone to change my mind. I would also like to talk about how legalizing hemp can impact school systems. The school system. Last time I checked, in the early 2000s, the United States spent upwards of $42 billion on the war on drugs. And of that, something like $35 billion of it was spent on non-violent marijuana-related offenses alone. According to a Google search, there is something like 50 million students attending public schools. Using that math, with the money we saved, we could generate an additional $700. We can give an additional $700 to each student in the United States. Now, $700 is not that much money, but it is enough to buy a cheap laptop for every student in the United States. And if every student in the country had a laptop, we could revolutionize the school system. I can imagine a school system where all of the textbooks are on your laptop. They can be downloaded for free and updated daily. With this step alone, you take money that you are saving and spend it to save more money. Taking this one step further, I can also imagine a school system where the teachers of the subject can be learning more and new things about the subject, while teaching in the newest, most up-to-date methods available. Also, this would give the students the ability to study anything at any level with just the click of a button. Meaning, while studying things that are required, they would have the ability to study things that they're passionate about. I feel this could help the dropout rate. I say this speaking as a high school dropout who dropped out because I had gotten into trouble too many times for debating or correcting the teachers on subjects, because I learned more from the internet and watching the History and Discovery channel than I did in most of my classes. Or as I like to put it, I made the stupidest choice of my life because I was truly too smart for my own good. I would like to talk about how hemp can be the first step in feeding the hungry. It is a fact that hemp seeds have been used for centuries as a dietary supplement, and it is being used in many countries all around the world. If we as a country currently grow a good portion of corn and soy just for ethanol and other oil-based products, which is not a bad thing, even though ethanol is by far less efficient than biodiesel. But factoring in the fact that you can grow hemp year-round in almost all climates, it is easy to see how one could produce 3 to 4 times more products from the same plot of land. It is also a fact that hemp needs far less nutrient intake than most food crops, and is widely considered to be one of the most versatile plants in the world. When it comes to weather conditions or types of soil it can be grown in, which would generate the potential to open previously unusable land for farming. I would briefly like to talk about climate change, deforestation, and carbon pollution. And before you start calling me a tree-hugging hippie, I would like the best part about what I am going to say is that climate change doesn't need to be true for it to be true. It is a fact that we cut down trees for many products. It is also a fact that hemp can produce at least 4 times more pulp per acre than trees. That takes care of deforestation. It is a fact that hemp filters around 3 times more carbon per acre than trees. So by hemp becoming an industry, we could take care of carbon pollution. The reason I'm not going into too much detail is because I'm not very knowledgeable about the details in these subjects. But with these facts alone, I find it easy to stop any debates on these subjects. But as always, I open any arguments as always, I welcome any arguments against what I am saying. And indeed would very much appreciate learning something new that would change my mind. At this point, I would like to speak about something that I think everyone feels strongly about, and that is the economy. I have talked and thought in great detail about what exactly the legalizing hemp would do to the economy. I feel that if we as a country were to legalize hemp and marijuana, there would be little to stop us from restoring our states as an economic power. At the moment, to the best of my knowledge, the current US dollar is based on debt. To put it in other words, the dollar you have in your pocket is owed to somebody else. In fact, I've heard it stated that if we were to take every dollar out of circulation and use it to pay off our debt, we would still owe money because of interest. I imagine we can create an economy that the dollar is based on goods and energy. I feel that hemp and marijuana can be a massive first step. Keeping in mind what I stated about how I feel the government specifically could use hemp, I would like to expand on it.